one time, she tried to kill me. I mean, I am positive that if there was not somebody in the house, she would have killed me. She knocked me over, she was choking me. I thought I was going to die.
Ever wondered what hides behind the polished glamour of Hollywood's biggest celebrities? Beneath the legendary performances and worldwide fame, some actors carried dark secrets and troubling actions that altered their legacies forever. From committing some of humanity's gravest crimes to earning reputations as Hollywood's most difficult personalities, their stories reveal a murky intersection of success and scandal. Here are some of the most infamous actors in Hollywood history. Kirk Douglas. Born Izzy Dembski to Russian Jewish immigrants in 1916, Kirk Douglas's rise to stardom is a classic rags-to-riches story mirroring the golden age of Hollywood itself. From his humble beginnings, he became one of the most iconic actors of his time, with performances that captivated audiences and defined an era of cinema. Yet, his impact extended far beyond the screen. Douglas played a pivotal role in breaking the Hollywood blacklist, a dark chapter in entertainment history when suspected communist sympathizers were barred from working in the industry. While producing Spartacus, Douglas made the bold decision to hire blacklisted writer Dalton Trumbo to write the screenplay, openly crediting him on the film. This act of defiance against injustice was a landmark moment, signaling the beginning of the end for the blacklist. However, after his death, serious allegations began to surface, casting a shadow over his legacy. Rumors claim that in the 1950s, Douglas made inappropriate advances towards a then 15-year-old Natalie Wood, inviting her to his hotel room and threatening her to keep silent. Though unverified, the allegations have sparked fierce debate online. Social media erupted with divided opinions. Some condemned Douglas, while others defended his legacy, pointing to his contributions to film and social justice. A film critic even suggested he might have been a person involved in misconduct allegations who escaped accountability. It's a deeply polarizing issue, leaving many torn on what to believe. From one Hollywood icon scandal to another, this time, a child star turned headline maker. Meet Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney was Hollywood's golden boy, a child star who transitioned into a career spanning nearly a century. With hits like National Velvet and Babes in Arms, his charm and energy made him a household name. But behind the bright lights of his career lay a turbulent personal life and struggles that often overshadowed his success. Rooney's personal life was chaotic. Married 8 times, his relationships were marked by infidelity, abuse, and controversy. His first wife, the iconic Ava Gardner, described him as a hurricane, reflecting the stormy nature of their short-lived marriage. Sadly, this pattern repeated with his other marriages. Despite earning millions, Rooney's financial troubles were constant. Lavish spending, poor decisions, and mismanagement led him to bankruptcy multiple times. He candidly admitted to being broke often, saying, "I've been broke more times than you can count, but I'm not ashamed of that." Professionally, Rooney could be difficult to work with, known for his temper and abrasive behavior. Co-stars like Terry Garr described him as a handful, but his talent was undeniable. However, darker allegations, including inappropriate behavior and troubling relationships, tarnished his legacy. Mickey Rooney took punches in his personal life, but Wallace Beery wasn't afraid to throw them, literally. Wallace Beery was a Hollywood icon with a dark side. He started his career in the circus, moved on to vaudeville, and eventually made it big in silent films before transitioning seamlessly into early talkies. His star truly rose when he won an Academy Award for Best Actor in The Champ, cementing his place in film history. But off-screen, Beery was far from the lovable characters he portrayed. His personal life was riddled with controversies, and he earned a reputation as one of Hollywood's most difficult stars. The darkest cloud over his legacy was the mysterious death of comedian Ted Healy in 1937. Rumors swirled that Beery was involved in a drunken brawl with Healy the night he died. Though never charged, the suspicion haunted Beery and tarnished his image. On set, Beery was known as a bully, often using his physical size to intimidate co-stars and crew members. One notable incident occurred during the filming of Slave Ship when he slapped his 16-year-old co-star Mickey Rooney across the face. His personal life wasn't any better. His 2 marriages ended in accusations of violence and infidelity, and he had strained, controlling relationships with his children. Despite his undeniable talent and popularity, Beery's bad behavior alienated many, leaving behind a complicated legacy. A gifted actor whose personal demons overshadowed his contributions to Hollywood's golden age. But Beery wasn't the only star with a skeleton in his closet. Walter Brennan was one of those actors whose presence was unforgettable. His unique voice and knack for playing grizzled, wise, or eccentric older men made him a Hollywood legend. With 3 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor under his belt, thanks to Come and Get It, Kentucky, and The Westerner, Brennan carved out a remarkable career in the golden age of cinema. His roles in Western classics like Red River and Rio Bravo only solidified his place as one of the greats. But behind the scenes, Brennan was a far more controversial figure. Known for his staunch conservatism, he was an outspoken supporter of Senator Joseph McCarthy and the 1950s anti-communist crusade. His extreme views often alienated colleagues in Hollywood. Worse still, Brennan's prejudice and outspoken disdain for the civil rights movement cast a dark shadow over his legacy. He openly expressed racist beliefs, earning criticism even in his own era. Brennan's unyielding opinions made him difficult to work with at times. Iconic actress Katharine Hepburn once remarked that while he was a gifted actor, his personal beliefs were a stark contrast to the characters he portrayed. But if Walter Brennan played the part of Hollywood's troublemaker, Walt Disney directed an entire controversy. Walt Disney's story is one of brilliance and complexity, blending dreams and determination with controversy. Once a struggling animator, Disney co-founded the Disney Brothers Studio in 1923 with his brother Roy. His fortunes changed with Mickey Mouse's debut in Steamboat Willie, the first cartoon with synchronized sound. This success launched him into the limelight, and he didn't stop there. He pushed boundaries, creating the first full-length animated feature, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, followed by classics like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. But Disney's magic wasn't without shadows. Known for his relentless work ethic, he demanded perfection from his team, earning a reputation as a tough boss. Animator Art Babbitt once described him as very tough and demanding. Tensions ran so high at one point that Babbitt and Disney almost came to blows over an insult, though studio staff stepped in to prevent a physical altercation. Beyond his business practices, Disney faced allegations of bigotry, particularly accusations of anti-Semitism, though former colleagues like David Swift have dismissed these claims as absurd. However, Disney's political activities, including his involvement in the Hollywood blacklist during the McCarthy era and associations with conservative groups, stirred controversy. His early films, such as Dumbo and Song of the South, have also been criticized for racial stereotypes. These elements complicate the legacy of a man whose creations continue to inspire wonder, but also provoke debate. And just when you thought you knew Hollywood's dark side, there's always another twist. One of Hollywood's most infamous scandals erupted in 1978, when Christina Crawford released her memoir, Mommy Dearest. The book unveiled a chilling portrait of her mother, Joan Crawford, the glamorous actress once adored by millions. Beneath Joan's dazzling public image lay a dark, abusive side that Christina could no longer keep hidden. Christina's view of her mother shattered at just 13 years old. One haunting memory seared into her mind was the night Joan grabbed her and committed unspeakable acts. Decades later, Christina still vividly recalls the terror of that moment, convinced her mother had come dangerously close to ending her life. That incident marked the beginning of a lifelong struggle to reconcile the woman adored by the public with the tyrant she knew at home. Joan Crawford dazzled Hollywood, even winning an Oscar for her role in Mildred Pierce. But behind the scenes, Christina saw a different story. Joan's pristine image, luxurious mansions, designer gowns, and poised elegance concealed a mother who punished her children for the smallest infractions. Christina endured years of cruelty in silence. A year after Joan's death, Christina shattered that silence. With Mommy Dearest, she pulled back the curtain on her mother's carefully crafted persona, revealing a legacy tarnished by pain and abuse. The shocking memoir forever altered Joan Crawford's iconic image. But while Crawford's demons were personal, the next actor on our list demons were professional. Bette Davis was a powerhouse of Hollywood's golden age, known for her bold, intense roles and complex characters. With a career that spanned over 5 decades, she won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress for Dangerous and Jezebel, cementing her legacy as one of the greatest actresses of all time. But behind the scenes, Davis's life was just as dramatic as the characters she played. She was a trailblazer for women in Hollywood, unafraid to speak her mind even when it caused trouble. Davis famously clashed with studios, directors, and co-stars. Her feud with Joan Crawford is one of Hollywood's most infamous rivalries. When they starred together in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, their animosity was so intense it spilled off-screen. Davis even joked, "The best time I ever had with Joan Crawford was when I pushed her down the stairs in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane." The feud fueled tabloids and added to Davis's reputation as difficult but fascinating. Her personal life wasn't any easier. Married 4 times, Davis's relationships were riddled with cheating, anger, and abuse. The mysterious death of her second husband, Arthur Farnsworth, only added to the turmoil. Known for her short temper and bossy nature, she often stirred up drama, but her commitment to her craft never wavered. But if you thought Davis was difficult, wait till you meet Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo, the enigmatic Hollywood legend, wasn't just known for her incredible acting, but also her difficult and often cold personality. One famous story highlights her sharp, unkind side, involving Marion Davies, a fellow actress known for her warmth and easygoing nature. While both were filming on the same soundstage, separated by a curtain, Marion's set was lively, with tea breaks and camaraderie, while Garbo's was private and silent. One day, Garbo unexpectedly walked onto Marion's set, sat in her chair, and quietly observed the cheerful atmosphere for half an hour. Marion, flattered by the visit, decided to return the favor. She asked her director for permission to visit Garbo's set, thinking it would be a kind gesture. But when Marion arrived, Garbo's reaction was icy. Stopping everything, Garbo demanded to know who was on her set. The director, sensing trouble, quickly told Marion to leave. Still, Marion tried to explain her intentions, saying she wanted to return Garbo's visit. Instead of showing appreciation, Garbo dismissed her, saying, "I didn't come to see you, I came to see Jetta Goodall," and added a cruel comment, calling Marion null and void. Deeply hurt, Marion cried, while Garbo remained indifferent. This incident captures Garbo's complex, lonely nature. Even her friends described her as eccentric, but moments like these revealed a much colder side. Marion once summed her up, saying, "I've never seen anyone so strange and shy," and that's saying a lot for Hollywood. Next, we have Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was a genius of silent film, beloved for his role as the little tramp in classics like The Kid, City Lights, and Modern Times. But while his on-screen charm captivated audiences, his real life was full of scandal and controversy, painting a much darker picture of the man behind the mustache. Chaplin's rise to fame began in England, before Hollywood catapulted him into superstardom. His comedic brilliance and innovative filmmaking made him one of cinema's first global icons. However, his personal life was anything but picture perfect. Married 4 times, Chaplin's relationships often made headlines for all the wrong reasons. His marriage to Lita Grey, who was just 16 at the time, ended in a bitter, highly publicized divorce filled with accusations of infidelity and abuse. The media frenzy around the case severely damaged his reputation. His political views only added fuel to the fire. During the Red Scare of the 1940s and 1950s, Chaplin became a target due to his outspoken socialist sympathies and criticism of capitalism. His bold satire of Adolf Hitler in The Great Dictator showcased his fearless political voice, but made him a polarizing figure. Things took a turn for the worse in 1952 when the U.S. government denied him re-entry after a trip to England, effectively exiling him from Hollywood. Adding to his troubles was a paternity lawsuit in 1943 with actress Joan Barry. Even though blood tests proved he wasn't the father, the court ruled against him, forcing him to pay child support. Between his political stances, legal woes, and messy personal life, Chaplin became as scandalous off-screen as he was beloved on-screen. But while Chaplin ruled silent film, Gene Kelly danced his way into Hollywood history, but not without his own drama. Gene Kelly was a whirlwind of talent, a dancer, actor, and director who redefined Hollywood musicals with his athletic and energetic style. He wasn't just a performer, he was a trailblazer, bringing creativity and excitement to classics like Singin' in the Rain, An American in Paris, and On the Town. Who could forget that iconic scene in Singin' in the Rain, where he's splashing joyfully in puddles?
Dancing in the rain.
It's pure magic, and it's all Gene. But behind the charm and charisma was a perfectionist. On set, Kelly was known for being incredibly demanding, not just of himself, but of everyone around him. Debbie Reynolds, his co-star in Singin' in the Rain, described working with him as grueling. She called him a taskmaster, saying he pushed people to their limits, a trait she believed he inherited from his equally driven mother. Kelly's personal life was no less intense. Married 3 times, his first marriage to actress Betsy Blair ended in divorce amid rumors of infidelity. His relentless focus on his career often strained his relationships, creating tension and heartbreak. Politically, Kelly didn't shy away from controversy. A staunch liberal, he openly supported progressive causes, which sometimes put him at odds with Hollywood's conservative circles. However, he wasn't alone in facing such tensions over his beliefs. John Wayne was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, known for his iconic roles in westerns and war movies. Over a career spanning more than 50 years, he became the ultimate symbol of rugged American masculinity. Classics like Stagecoach, The Searchers, and True Grit, for which he won an Academy Award, cemented his place as a cinematic legend. Working with directors like John Ford and Howard Hawks, Wayne brought to life strong, silent characters who became cultural icons. Off-screen, though, Wayne was a far more polarizing figure. Outspoken about his conservative political beliefs, he supported controversial causes like the Vietnam War and was deeply opposed to communism. His 1971 Playboy interview revealed troubling prejudices, including his infamous statement, "I believe in white supremacy." Comments like these alienated fans and tarnished his public image, exposing a deep divide between the heroic characters he portrayed and his personal beliefs. Wayne's personal life was equally chaotic. Married 3 times, he struggled with infidelity and a demanding personality, which strained his relationships. While he maintained close friendships with like-minded conservatives like Ward Bond, his views often clashed with the progressive movements of his era. Next, we have James Dean. James Dean, the star of Rebel Without a Cause, is remembered as a cultural icon. His smoldering looks, rebellious demeanor, and tragic death at just 24 cemented his legendary status. But behind the cool, mysterious image was a far more complicated person, and not all of the stories about him are flattering. In the book, Rebel: The Life and Legend of James Dean, a different side of him emerges. Dean is described as rude, foul-mouthed, and unprofessional. Many of his co-stars and collaborators struggled to work with him. On Broadway, he was known for being moody and difficult, with Robert Altman, who worked on one of his plays, calling him the worst actor he'd ever encountered. Even Rock Hudson, who starred alongside him in Giant, found Dean sulky and ill-mannered. Despite these criticisms, Dean's tragic death and enigmatic persona turned him into a cult hero. His life has been romanticized in books, plays, and songs like A Young Man Is Gone by the Beach Boys. However, not everyone sees him as a hero. In 1993, conservative writer George Will blamed Dean for inspiring the rebellious youth of the 1960s, calling his character, in Rebel Without a Cause, a self-pitying teenager who shirked responsibility. Dean was undoubtedly talented and ambitious, but also manipulative and selfish. Co-stars like Vaughn Taylor described him as arrogant, frequently changing lines and movements without warning, creating chaos for those around him. It's one thing to be disliked by your co-stars, but to be disliked by your own child? That's a whole different level. Jerry Lewis was a comedy legend, known for his zany humor and larger-than-life personality. Rising to fame alongside Dean Martin in their iconic duo, Lewis eventually became a solo star, bringing laughter to millions. Beyond his comedy, his dedication to charity, especially his work with the Muscular Dystrophy Association, made him a household name. But beneath the laughter, Lewis was a deeply complicated man, wrestling with personal pain and a troubled past. Dubbed the Dark Prince of Comedy, Lewis's life was far from the glamorous image he projected. Behind the scenes, he endured a difficult childhood, a turbulent marriage, battles with substance addiction, and even an attempt to harm himself. Despite his struggles, his comedic genius influenced countless others. Yet, the darker aspects of Lewis's life could not be ignored. His youngest son, Joseph, accused him of mental and physical abuse, leading to a strained relationship that never healed. Joseph tragically died of a substance overdose in 2009, and Lewis's response was silence, a silence that spoke volumes. In a rare admission, Lewis confessed to feeling guilt over his son's death, saying he beat himself up over it. For him, performing on stage became the only way to cope with the deep pain he carried. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments which actor's dark side gave you chills. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more intriguing Hollywood stories.